No nation will allow any social media platform to spread this anarchy. Everything up again.
We will promote free, fair and viral media practice, Information Minister reiterates as aviation sector gives account under President Buhari.
Nigeria has taken broad steps to develop adaptation communication guided by the NAP global network.
Flood devastation, Nigeria working to build relations at COP27 to improve livelihoods. And reward for honesty, Police Service Commission honors officer who rejected $200,000 bribe. Anticipatory of resumption of Abuja Kaduna train services, correspondent examines the business angles of the Rigasa train station.
More operation.
Good evening and a warm welcome to NTA Network News. We are live in Abuja. I am Jummai Yusuf. Michael Olale joins me from Lagos. You can follow this news broadcast live on our website nta.ng/live and all our social media platforms displayed on the screen for updates. With the different challenges confronting the West African sub-region, including the undemocratic takeover of government and maintaining stability in the region, the Economic Community of West African States has risen to the occasion, and for this, ECOWAS should be proud. Vice President Yemi Osinbajo expressed this view while receiving a delegation of the ECOWAS Commission led by its new president, Dr. Omar Aliyu Taura, at the presidential villa. He added that the hard work of ECOWAS is seen in the transitions going on in different countries that experience coups and the seriousness with which the rest of the world takes what ECOWAS says. Regarding ECOWAS engagement on a global stage, Professor Osinbajo stated that it is imperative to reiterate that opinions from the African continent, especially the regional bloc of West Africa, must be heard at all times and considered when decisions are being made. On the need to have stronger institutions in member countries for dealing with internal pressures, Professor Osinbajo noted that concerns now are problems that are not only local but also global. Dr. Aliyu Taura thanked the Vice President and the government of Nigeria for the support given to ECOWAS. He recognized the leadership role Nigeria plays in the region, pledging to work closely with the government for the benefit of the community. 20,000 young men and women graduates under the Jubilee Fellows Program of the federal government have been deployed for internship and mentorship program in reputable organizations that have volunteered to partner government in the move towards addressing unemployment. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
The 20,000 young men and women are the first set under the Jubilee Fellows Program. The program is aimed at solving the problem of graduate unemployment, an issue that government considered perhaps the most important socio-economic issue.
No matter what people say about the challenges, it is in those challenges that people make the greatest breakthroughs of all. It is the challenges that have the opportunities lying there somewhere, and you've got to pick up those opportunities. And you don't even have to be the entrepreneur to be a software. You can be the great software engineer. You can be the great administrator or the manager of men and material. Every day presents that great opportunity. It's time for you to seize the moment and achieve your own best dreams.
The Vice President advised the fellows to be prepared to make impact.
This is the greatest and the most advantageous moment for any young person, and many of you every day are proving it. Don't listen to those who say, but these days are the best thing, and we need to take advantage of that.
Partnership on the program has grown to include over 5,000 businesses who are offering places for work and mentorship to this fourth set of Jubilee Fellows.
Nigeria's international partners, including the United Nations, must and are committed to play our role in ensuring young people receive the proper tools and opportunities to reach their full potential.
The president launched the Nigerian Jubilee Fellows program in August 2021. The idea is to have every year 20,000 Jubilee Fellows working in establishments, learning work skills, being mentored by entrepreneurs, business managers, and experienced public servants. In the State House, Jude Onifade, NTA News.
Information and Culture Minister Lai Mohammed has restated the present administration's commitment to promote a free and viral media practice where professionalism and ethics guide practitioners. The minister was speaking at the third edition of the PMB Scorecard 2015 to 2023, which featured Aviation Minister Senator Hadi Sirika. Anthony Fossen tells us more.
The Information and Culture Minister, who is moderator of the series before giving way to the Aviation Minister, took time to respond to recent inquiries which border on Twitter and its new ownership and a sudden spike in fake news, disinformation and hate speech since the microblogging site changed ownership.
We are closely monitoring the evolving developments at it has never been our intention to ban any social media platform or site use, not at all. What happened in the case of for those who want to stabilize the game, using fake news, disinformation, and hate speech. We wish to allow any social media platform to stop it into anarchy.
Paving the way for the Aviation Minister Hadi Sirika, whose presentation provided an overview of the infrastructural development and other allied achievements, including policies and programs in the sector since the inception of President Muhammadu Buhari's administration.
So under Buhari, we have supplied our airports for the first time in Nigeria.
The status of the roadmap, he said, is to designate 5 international airports, that is Lagos, Abuja, Enugu, Kano, and Port Harcourt as special economic zones.
And we remain public assets. We give it to the private sector, they invest their money, they make it better, and then it comes back to the public and continue to remain your own commonwealth.
The roadmap also has a component that will drive the establishment of a private sector-driven maintenance, repair, and overhaul center, which is critical to its diversification and repositioning of the aviation industry. The minister cleared the air on the issue of a national carrier for Nigeria.
Personally, I went to Lufthansa, I went to Qatar, I went to all of these major airlines, big size, and all of them, and invited the passengers to come. I went to a roadshow in London, in the US, and all over the place. On the deadline, some airlines asked us that please, can you extend the deadline so I can come? We extended because the request is popular. When we extended, on the day of closure, some came late. After the route, I told you I was the only one that responded quickly. And at 11 o'clock, the route, they didn't start. Should I open it up? No. They have not said, okay, open it for Qatar to come. Because the whole of the media, especially social media, were saying that I was favoring Qatar.
Under the period in focus, the nation's aviation sector scored several milestones around the world. In Abuja, Anthony Fossen, NTA News.
To security matters now, the Nigerian police, in synergy with other security agencies, has contributed in no small measure towards ensuring that there is adequate protection of lives and property in the country. The implementation of a holistic police reform program is also an added impetus to the effective and efficient way to policing, which has yielded results. The Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, speaks on these achievements at the repositioning of the police when he featured at the 57th session of executive press briefing organized by the Presidential Communications Team. State House correspondent Jide Onifade reports.
Security is one of the 3 focus areas of the current administration. Significant and salient inputs have been made into the sector, leading to corresponding positive impacts, as explained by the Inspector General of Police, Usman Alkali Baba, while speaking on the status of internal security and update on the police reforms. and it is a movement that is producing robust achievements.
The security situation in the country has been reasonably stable in spite of the activities of unpatriotic elements and non-state actors who engage in various criminal activities around the country. However, the Nigerian police is actively collating intelligence and effectively subduing elements responsible for security threats within the country.
It says the police have deployed operational intelligence and ICT-based apparatuses to tackle and stem the tide of crimes and criminality to the barest minimum.
The issue of kidnapping is an issue that borders almost all the security agents, including the military. It is a crime that once it is committed, you have to treat it very softly and with all sense of professionalism. If you do not rescue the person safe and hurt, you have almost done anything. There are laid down means and ways, procedures to do rallies and campaign. On our part, we have gone out to appeal to politicians to play the game by the rules, and at the same time allow us to regulate political processions, campaigns and rallies to avoid clashes and so forth.
The Inspector General of Police also spoke on other achievements concerning the welfare of officers in the State House. Jide Onifade, NTA News.
The divisional police officer of Bompai Divisional Police Station in Kano, who rejected a bribe of $200,000, has been promoted to the rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police by the Police Service Commission. Francis Prom reports that the Commission also presented 1 million naira to the officer for his exemplary act of integrity.
CSP Daniel Itseama came to limelight for his exemplary show of moral excellence and impeccable pedigree by repelling corruption and the discharge of his duty. The officer was said to have been offered a bribe of $200,000, an equivalent to more than 150 million naira, to suppress a case involving one Mr. Ali Zaki, and a bureau de change operator in Kano, but he rejected the offer.
And for this reason, we have promoted him from today. Yes.
He is honored with a promotion to the rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police by the Police Service Commission, barely 2 months after being decorated with the rank of CSP and $1 million cash as icing in the cake.
We wish you more and more. You have a great future and you are very promising. Many more should emulate you.
When such acts are done, we would want to publicly show that acts of honesty is appreciated, and this is what this government is all about.
I acknowledge that this success story was not born out of lone effort. There are eminent personas with us and those before us, those with unquenchable desire towards excellence. From them we draw our inspiration.
CSP Ama is a recipient of many awards, including the Public Service Integrity Awards 2022, presented to him by President Muhammadu Buhari. Francis from NTA News.
Integrity pays. Kaduna State Government has described a purported story making the rounds that there was an attack on Abuja Kaduna Highway as tissues of lies manufactured by merchants of conflict. The state government accused those behind the rumors for creating unnecessary alarm and creating tension. A statement by the State Commissioner of Internal Security and Home Affairs, Samuel Aruan, said government is in constant touch with security agencies responsible for securing not only Kaduna-Abuja corridor but the state in general. The statement further said government is not denying security challenges but regret has some disgruntled elements are fabricating stories for their selfish end. Now let's talk politics. The Speaker of the House of Representatives, Femi Bajabiamila, has called for the prosecution of persons involved in crude oil theft, describing their action as akin to treason. This is contained in a message to the Legislative Transparency and Accountability Summit in Abuja. National Assembly correspondent Vivia Idebefo reports.
The summit, with the theme Enhancing Transparency and Accountability in the Oil and Gas Sector, Prospects and Challenges, explores the role of the legislature in creating an environment for the success of regulatory and business entities in the industry against the background of the Petroleum Industry Act.
Due to theft and various acts of economic sabotage, we are experiencing a massive decline in crude oil production and export volumes. Added to these are leakages and weightages from improper records. Anything that affects this sector will affect Nigeria as a country.
Where revenues can be invested into industrialization and value chains, education and health, and thus improve access of all Nigerians to basic public goods and services, bringing this beautiful nation to the heights it should be at.
Stakeholders, while commending the Petroleum Industry Act, are unanimous on the need to build trust by deepening transparency in order to curtail the rate of illicit financial flows occasioned by complexities in operations in the oil and gas sector.
We must discard completely confidential clauses that forbid the operators of government from disclosing terms negotiated with parties.
It is therefore important for the government to ensure that instituted measures aimed at enhancing transparency in the oil sector include full disclosure of NNPC joint venture arrangements.
We will continue to collaborate with the National Assembly and all other stakeholders to bring in more transparency and to own up when we do wrong and correct it, and we take all the corrections that is necessary. We have a lot of data and information on who is doing what has been paid, what has been received, what has been produced, what was exported.
The summit is expected to produce a working document to guide the 9th House of Representatives on key deliverables in the anti-corruption crusade. From the National Assembly, Vivian Idepefo, NTA News.
We'll take a break now. When we return, more reports. Do stay.
Welcome to the Glow Festival of Joy. It's a celebration like no other, with prizes like no other. 20 new houses to be won, 24 brand new cars, 200 sewing machines, 100 generators, 1,000 rechargeable fans. It's spraying Gidiba prizes this season in the Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial star 611 hash to enter and grab your share of prizes in this celebration of a lifetime. It can only be Glow. Glow Festival of Joy promo. Dial star 611 hash now.
The Honorable Minister of Information and Culture, Alhaji Lai Muhammad, welcomes the United Nations World Tourism Organization Secretary General and Ministers of Tourism, Culture and Arts from the UNWTO member states to the first UNWTO Global Conference on Linking Tourism, Culture and the Creative Industries. Date from 14th to 16th November 2022. Venue, National Theatre, Igomu, Lagos. Workshops and technical sessions starts on 14th November. Opening ceremony 15th November, time 10 a.m. A Day with Nollywood, 16th November, time 10 a.m. Special guest, UNWTO Secretary General, Mr. Zurab Pololikashvili. Special guest of honor, His Excellency Muhammadu Buhari, GCFR, President, Federal Republic of Nigeria. Mrs. Lydia Shehu Jafia, MNI, Permanent Secretary, Federal Ministry of Information and Culture. Announcer.
Katagun Emirate Council, Bauchi State cordially invites the general public to the momentous occasion of the coronation and presentation of Stab of Office to His Royal Highness Alhaji Dr. Umar Farooq II, OON, as the 12th Emir of Katagun. The presentation of Stab of Office to be performed by the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Alhaji Bala Abdulkadir Muhammad CON, dignitaries from within and outside Bauchi State, including the Sultan of Sokoto, His Eminence, Alhaji Dr. Muhammad Saad Abubakar III, and stream of royal fathers including Emir Bauchi, Alhaji Dr. Ilwan Suleiman Adamu, CFR, Chairman Bauchi State Emirs Council, as well as other emirs from within and outside Bauchi State, will grace the occasion, which is scheduled to hold on Saturday, 12th November 2022 by 9 o'clock in the morning at Sport Complex of Aminu Saleh College of Education, Azare, Katago local government area of Bauchi State. Join us in reflecting back on the Malam Zaki legacy, the famous founder of Katago Emirate. Announcer, Ambassador Adamu Aliu MMI, Walim Katago Chairman, Central Organizing Committee.
My name is Boy Olusoya, and I am the Group Managing Director and Chief Executive Officer of Flour Mills of Nigeria PLC. At FMN, we are passionate about feeding the nation every day as our business affords Nigerians great tasting, nutritious and superior quality products, and thus we have become a source of livelihood for millions of Nigerian families. In 2023 and beyond, there is need to urgently establish pertinent strategic roadmaps towards driving sound monetary and fiscal policies for the purpose of attaining sustainable growth in Nigeria. Join Flour Mills of Nigeria, FMN, at the 28th Nigerian Economic Summit themed 2023 and Beyond, Priorities for Shared Prosperity. Join us virtually and at the Transcorp Hilton Hotel Abuja on the 14th and 15th of November 2022. Looking forward to seeing you.
Jamahari Emirate Council Bauchi State cordially invites the general public to the coronation event and presentation of staff of office to the Emir of Jamahari His Royal Highness Alhaji Nuhu Ahmad Wabi MNI. The coronation and presentation of staff of office is to be performed by His Excellency the Executive Governor of Bauchi State, Senator Bala Abdulkadir Muhammad, CON, Kauran Bauchi. The event comes up on Sunday, 13th November 2022 by 2 p.m. at Sport Complex situated on Kano Road, Jamahari Town, Bauchi State. Expected at the occasion are royal fathers, distinguished political, religious, business and administrative leaders and other personalities from within and outside Bauchi State. Join the Wabi dynasty in another round of historic coronation. You are all invited. Central Planning Committee announcer.
You're welcome back. Still talking legislative matters. The House of Representatives is to reconvene plenary on Monday, 14th November 2022. This is against the earlier scheduled date of Tuesday, 15th November. A statement signed by the Clerk House, Yahya Nazaria, explains that the resumption is sequel to a decision of the leadership of the House of Representatives in order to attend to some urgent legislative issues. Members of the House of Representatives are therefore expected to be at plenary by 11 a.m. The National Assembly had embarked on a 3-week break to enable defense of the 2023 budget with NTAs. To environmental matters, floods in Nigeria are receding, leaving behind humanitarian crises of forced migration, displacement and loss of livelihoods. Nigeria is determined to build relations at COP27 to bolster national efforts at rebuilding devastated livelihoods. Onegi 5-Face reports.
At a session on scaling climate change adaptation in Nigeria, the Ministry of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development is interfacing with experts at COP27 to better identify and map out climate change risks and vulnerabilities for effective adaptation action in Nigeria.
Reducing vulnerability to hazards requires a focus on root causes through hazard vulnerability assessment to foster prevention, mitigation of existing risks, and preparation for possible disasters and adaptation to changing climate risks.
The COP provides Nigeria opportunity to learn and adopt best practices in building resilience against climate change events in the country.
Nigeria has taken broad steps to develop adaptation communication guided by the NAP Global Network. The adaptation communication will play a central role in identifying national needs and enabling international forum, while informing future action, driving ambition and contributing information for the global stake.
Of priority to Nigeria is the diffusion of early warning messages to forestall future occurrence of disasters from extreme weather events in the country.
from Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt, on NTA Fine Face, NTA News.
In view of the enormity of the 2022 flood disaster that ravaged most parts of the country, charity organizations across the world have continued to donate relief materials for the upkeep of victims. The latest is from the Kingdom of Jordan, King Abdullah bin Al-Hussein charity organization that donated assorted items to the victims of the recent flood in the country. Director General, National Emergency Management Agency, NEMA, Mustafa Habib Ahmed received the items on behalf of the Nigerian government. Ilyasu Yakubu reports.
Humanitarian cargo aircraft of the Royal Jordanian Air Force that conveyed the materials arrived the cargo wing of Nnamdi Azikiwe International Airport, Abuja, with assorted food, clothing materials, blankets, mattresses, among other materials. Leader of the delegation, Zaid Mahmoud, said King Abdullah of Jordan sympathized with government and people of Nigeria over the tragic incidents. He said the Jordanian royal father is touched with the plight of Nigerians over the most devastating floods that ravaged most part of the country.
In this world, we live as a family, so our king every time help anyone from our country and outside this country. So God bless you, and we hope everything is okay here.
The NEMA DG conveyed the appreciation of President Muhammadu Buhari and the Minister of Humanitarian Affairs, Disaster Management and Social Development.
Well, this is a very wonderful development from the government under the directive of His Majesty King Abdullah II. The great Ibn al-Hussein has sent relief package. I will thank the Kingdom of Jordan for this most sincere, kind gesture.
It will be recalled that MAP International Christian Charity Organization based in the United States of America had donated some medical consumables for the medical attention of flood victims in Nigeria. In Abuja, Ilyasu Yakubu, NTA News.
Meanwhile, the presidency welcomes the humanitarian assistance from the King Salman Humanitarian and Relief Center for the offer of treatment to a poor Nigerian family who birthed a set of conjoined twins. The Hassana and Husina twin girls joined in the abdomen were born to a Kano family at a government hospital in Kaduna State. The Saudi Council, Khalil Ahmed Al-Adamai, whose attention was drawn to the humanitarian situation, successfully got the support of the King Salman Foundation, which plans to send an air ambulance anytime from now for their medical evacuation to Riyadh, Saudi Arabia, where they are to be separated and receive liver implants. The presidency comments the humanitarian gesture of the King Salman Foundation and Relief Center and prays for the success of the surgery. Let's talk politics. The presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Bola Ahmed Tinubu, has continued his town hall meeting with stakeholders to unveil his agenda for various sectors of the economy. Aliu Tijani reports that the latest held in Lafia, Nasarawa State, focused on mining and security.
The choice of Nasarawa State for the APC presidential candidate town hall meeting on mining and security is critical in view of the abundant solid mineral deposits in the state. APC Presidential Council leads other stakeholders to discuss way forward in addressing challenges in the mining sector.
It's one thing to be blessed with resources. It's another thing to have the capacity and the ability to unbundle those resources, harness them, and use them for the greater good of the people.
APC presidential candidate Bola Ahmed Tinubu says if voted as president next year, his administration will work with the private sector to harness potential in the mining sector.
We will dismantle all bottlenecks, all blockades, illegal mining, exploitation that doesn't bring profit to Nigeria. We want to change that area. We have capacity to change the whole system.
These minerals, which are known to be in large quantity, are not only on top, but also threatened by the activities of illegal mining, leading to loss of revenue, insecurity, and other crimes. It is important to speak about
security whenever subliminal development is mentioned.
While in Latvia, APC presidential candidate pays homage on the Emir of Latvia, Justice Dibagi Mohammed I, and was also at his campaign office in Latvia. Aliu Tijani, NTA News.
The People's Democratic Party Presidential Campaign Council has inaugurated its National Youth Campaign Wing with the sole mandate of delivering the Atiku Okowa presidential mandate come 2023. Presidential candidate of the party, Atiku Abubakar, advised the members of the Youth Wing to center their campaign primarily on his 5-point agenda and be civil in their conduct. Timothy Yusuf reports.
You are hereby inaugurated as the members of National Youth Campaign Council of our great party.
The youth, being the most productive segment of every society, is the underlying reason for bringing on board PDP youth from across the country into the party's Presidential Campaign Council. This is evident in the inauguration of some of them to complement the Campaign Council in their own capacity.
Remain a very critical component of this movement toward rescue Nigeria, toward the unified Nigeria.
We have a good product to market. Alhaji Atiku Abubakar is the product. He is the hope for the youth.
PDP presidential candidate Atiku Abubakar says the campaign message to be propagated remains his 5-point covenant with Nigerians: unity, education, economy, security, and devolution of powers to federating units.
Those 5 points program, I sat down myself to write them. I did not ask any professor, I did not ask any doctor to come and write them for me. And if you study those 5 points, you will find that they seamlessly interconnect with each other. That is what we find in our candidates, our presidential candidates.
Representatives of the youth from the 6 geopolitical zones promised to work in tandem with the PDP Presidential Campaign Council in its efforts to deliver Atiku Abubakar and other candidates for the party's 2023 general elections. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
Let's bring you up to speed with other news. The Nigerian Television Authority says girl-child empowerment advocacy remains top priority among the nation's corporate social responsibility. This was when a non-governmental organization, Girl Child Freedom at the Grassroots, paid a courtesy visit on NTA management for partnership. Joseph Osen reports.
Nigerian Television Authority (NTA) has been at the forefront of projecting the importance of women and girl child development. It is in line with this that the Girl Child Freedom at the Grassroots says it sees the station as a committed and reliable partner.
We have so many girls that have benefited in catering, school fees empowerment. A lot of school children we are sent back to school, and also we have done that in Ebonyi State and Niger State. And our organization presently is working with UNICEF.
It is said there that if you train a girl child, you have actually trained a nation. So if you are now doing that, it's like you are helping, the creator to finish the work he has started. Though you can't do it, but you can't do it alone. You need the one to empower you to do more, and that is why you are here, to partner with NTA and leave you me is what we have been doing too on this side of the divide.
Research by the United Nations Development Programme shows correlation between high level of girl-child welfare and higher human development indices in countries. In Abuja, Joseph Utsen, NTA News.
Time to join Michael in Lagos for the next set of reports from that axis. Hello, Michael.
Jimai, the Nigeria Agricultural Currency Service says the various windows of trade available in the meat export value chain should not be seen as an avenue for illicit business in wildlife. The agency recorded these warning at the destruction of 7,000 pieces of donkey genital parts recently intercepted by the Murtala Area Command of the Nigeria Customs Service while being exported to Hong Kong. 7,000 donkey genital parts being handed over to the quarantine service on the 7th of September 2022. But beyond this act of shared responsibility are worries by both agencies on the safety of endangered species. According to research, it takes an average of 13 to 14 months for a donkey to produce an offspring. Hence, the concern of the quarantine service is that harvesting 7,000 for just 40 million naira is already pushing donkey to the edge of going into extinction in Nigeria.
Anyone intending to export animal parts in disguise, intending to export donkey parts in disguise, are actually working against the government. They are working against the law. They will be caught.
The destruction exercise, which took the form of chemicalization and burying in a pit, the head of NACO command of the agency said, is to serve as warning to whoever intends to venture into the trade that it is a fruitless enterprise.
Even if you are seeing Asian countries flashing dollars at you, please let's help our nation and let's help our economy in the little way we can. Imagine destroying those things. It's a loss. We can't retrieve the animals.
The Nigeria Agricultural Quarantine Service says, apart from enforcing import and export regulations on food and agricultural produce, there are DOCS offices offering advice on genuine procedures. The discovery of vaccines for major health challenges, including COVID-19, is a testament of the hard work biomedical professionals inject into innovations and health interventions. However, sustaining these for conceptualizing future medical challenges will be determined by funding. Former Minister of Health, Professor Isaac Adewale, shared this perspective at an international conference on health advances in Lagos. If there is any lesson emanating from the COVID-19 pandemic, then it is the change in perception that investment in the health sector is the way to go. In Nigeria, the response has been encouraging, with researches and innovations focusing on what the future health challenges might look like. To achieve these Herculean tasks, this gathering, boosted by the Ebola experience of 2014, in which public health support saved the day, must devise measures in upscaling COVID-19 vaccination in Africa using indigenous research methodology.
I'm optimistic that the government, private sector, retail community and health industry will provide sustainable investments and resources to advance health innovation in Africa at the national and regional levels. And I'm confident that these innovations will thrive and produce transformational solutions for health and development.
From developing diagnostic kits across monkeypox, yellow fever, and COVID-19, the Nigerian Institute of Medical Research believes the gains are endless with adequate funding.
We should use the opportunity of this conference to create awareness among young scientists to begin to think of research that will provide solution rather than just research for publication and for promotion.
Even if there's a big lockdown anywhere, we can produce what we need and we can be able to use it. And after we have produced what we need, we can license it to the world and the world will begin to learn from Nigeria.
The inauguration of a biobanking facility, stakeholders here said, will not only fast-track innovation for future health issues, but will offer solid foundation for executing research strategy. Do not forget to follow this news broadcast live on our website at nta.ng/live and on our other social media handles displayed on your screen for updates. Time for some messages. The news continues shortly. Please stay.
They pay you. They pay us. They pay everybody. Yes. But not share. Scatter. Come out.
e no go suffer. This one they talk and make them go if they won't go. This one they talk, we go come out, we go. This one say, make we scatter, make we burn, make we do everything. When you scatter finish, where you go? Okay, you go take private jet, carry your family go. But make I ask you, what about your uncle, mama, auntie, brother, sister? What about them? Remember, who throw stone for market? You don't know whether the stone go touch your own person. If the thing will go come out from your mouth, you no go fit gather us together as one people. Shut up, with please. War no get friend. You don't know language, you don't know anything. So if our get too much, make we sit down at the table of dialogue. Nigeria na my own, Nigeria na your own, Nigeria na our own. Make we come together, keep them together.
Thank you. Hi there. Hello. You can price shop, but you're always saving on everything except for here. This is where you're throwing money down the drain. How? On this cleaning product. Impossible. You need the new Harpic toilet cleaner. With just 130 naira sachet of Harpic toilet cleaner, you save more. Harpic stick formula stays longer, so it cleans 10 times better. Wow, hey! And it's safe because it's only 30 naira, giving you a sparkling clean toilet and great savings too. Stubborn dark marks? Try new Nivea Lumina 630. Visibly reduces up to 10 years of stubborn dark marks in just 4 weeks. New Nivea Lumina 630. Get even and luminous skin.
Every healthy family needs the right amount of energy to start your day. But sourcing for breakfast splendid blend of nutritious multigrains? Big wahala. With the new Kellogg's Gold Grain cereal, you don't have to go through all of that. So now, your mornings can look like this.
Go, 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 go grain. Love the goodness of its multigrain. With protein and creamy tasty Kellogg's Gold Grains.
With vitamins and minerals in Kellogg's Gold Grains.
Go, 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 go grains. Love the goodness of its multigrain.
Kellogg's Gold Grain is a breakfast cereal fortified with vitamins and minerals from the goodness of multigrains like maize, unicorn, rice, and soya. Kellogg's Gold Grain.
In a third final in 20 years.
From this world, yes, a GoTV decoder, GoTenna, and 1 month max subscription for only 6,900 naira. That's all the 64 games live from Qatar on GoTV Super.
Thanks for rejoining us. Yobe State government plans to spend more than 163 billion naira to cover both recurrent and capital expenditure in the 2023 fiscal year. Governor Maimala Buni disclosed this while presenting the Finance and Appropriation Bills before the State House of Assembly. Yunusa Suleiman reports.
The budget of continuity, consolidation and economic transformation, according to Governor Maimala Buni, the total budget for the execution of policies and programs for the 2023 fiscal year is put at more than 163 billion naira, signifying 0.43% decrease compared to the 2022 budget. He further explains that recurrent expenditure is to gulp more than 87 billion naira, representing 57% of the total budget size, while more than 75 billion naira, representing 43%, is earmarked for capital expenditure.
The 2023 budget will dwell on completion of ongoing projects in pursuance of government's post-insurgency recovery and speedy socio-economic development program.
Let me assure you that the 2023 budget consideration by the Honorable House is more inclusive of structuring transparency and accountability.
Governor Buni, while reviewing the outgoing fiscal year, informs the lawmakers that global economic recession has negatively affected revenue generation of the state, thereby affecting funding as well as performance of the 2022 budget, saying there may be improvement before the year runs out. In the Matru, Yunusa Suleiman, NTA News.
Let's join Benny Adams for business news.
Thank you, Jumai, and welcome to business. We start by telling you that Nigeria has settled for gas as transition fuel, and while the conversations on increased support for developing countries by the developed ones take center stage, the United States and other Western countries are not only intensifying production of electric cars, but now testing electric aircraft with a call for private sector-driven action. This was at a press brief on the sidelines of COP27 at Sharm el-Sheikh, Egypt.
There was very little publicity when all of the major automobile manufacturers announced a date when they're out of internal combustion engines. That's a huge shift. It was not driven by government policy. I live in Seattle. Boeing is testing electric airplanes. There's enormous change that's going on, and I think we need to celebrate the advances that we've made, knowing that there's a lot more that needs to be done.
And taking a look at the markets, Nigerian stocks traded in bulls as volume of shares traded improved by 204%. At the end of today's trading session, a total of 405 million shares in 3,188 deals, corresponding to a market value of 3.096 billion naira, were traded. Compared with previous trading day, today's data shows 204% improvement in volume, 71% improvement in turnover, and 4% improvement in deals. The current market capitalization is 23.9 trillion naira. Sterling Bank recorded the highest volume of 171 million traded shares, followed by Access Holdings 78.8 million, Transcorp Nigeria 36.8 million, and Guarantee Trust holding 23.9 million shares. That is business news. Network news continues with Jimmy.
Thank you, Benny. Can't wait to fly the electric aircraft. Well, before the attack, the grounded activities along the Abuja-Kaduna Rail Corridor, Rigaza train station was an economic hub which provided livelihood for many following the federal government's decision to restart train services along that passage. Actually, Maxwell faced the polls of business operators at the train station and report that they anxiously await the return.
Rigaza train station was a very busy area with an array of commercial activities. It was the most busiest area with chain of activities which created several jobs to people. But 8 months after the suspension of the train service, the situation has changed. The once vibrant Rigaza train station remains a shadow of itself in the past 8 months following the attack on Kaduna-Abuja train by bandits. Expectations are very high here as businessmen and women are looking forward to the resumption of the Kaduna-Abuja train services, where they will continue to explore business opportunities that abound here. Many businesses fold up, leading to the loss of job and means of survival to many families. Among those affected are car hire service operators. Abdullahi Muhammad is one of them.
Our plan is that we are going to put our business, our cars in a good shape, so that we can be able to serve our client. I'm very happy as the train come back to get more money, more operation, more settlement. I will feed my family good and fine. I will pay my family, my children's school fee. I will shelter them, everything.
Hawa Isa is another service provider as food vendor. She made fortunes in those days before the suspension of the train services. But with the federal government's pronouncement, Hawa is looking forward to the restoration of the train services.
The business is small because of the train is not going. That's why.
These are few among whose means of livelihood revolved around Rigaza train station and are preparing to launch their services immediately the train service resumed. Atari Maxwell, NTA News.
Choice of rice seeds that are high-yielding, tolerant to flood, pest and diseases by farmers is critical in boosting rice farming in Nigeria. This was the position of speakers at the 2022 Rice Farmers Field Day in Birnin Kebbi, the Kebbi state capital. Ibrahim Hamidu reports.
Natural dispositions like hundreds of kilometers for Dama terrain, large volume of water on both the surface and underground, among other factors, are perhaps responsible for siting the Rice Research Station, Wadangaji, in Birnin Kebbi by the federal government. The idea is mainly to support rice production largely in the state and those nearby for local consumption and possibly for export, which is now a success story attested to at this year's Rice Farmers Field Day organized by the National Cereals Research Institute. Dr. Aliu Umar, the Director General of the Institute, while in Birnin Kebbi, unveiled 28 new seed varieties for consideration by rice farmers as dry season farming approaches.
Our duty as a research institute is to come up with improved varieties of rice that will boost farmers' productivity. Kebbi State was the experimental ground. In other words, the country used Kebbi State to test this idea, and His Excellency the Governor came up with full force.
Goodwill messages from key partners reiterated the need for government support to farmers owing to the huge challenge associated with accessing basic requirements in farming. In Birnin Kebbi, Ibrahim Hamidu, NTA News.
More news when we return right after this break.
Introducing the Nigerian Marketing Awards. Celebrating marketing excellence in Nigeria on Friday, 11 November 2022 at the Eko Convention Center. Visit our website at www.mma-ng.com for more information. Entry closes September 30, 2022.
Welcome back. Sports update is next.
Reports reaching the sports desk from Delta State indicate that no life was lost as alleged in some quarters when part of the multi-purpose indoor sports hall under construction at the Stephen Keshi Stadium gave way. Godfrey Nzekwe reports that the Commissioner for Information Delta State, Charles Aniago, disclosed this after inspecting the scene of the incident.
Well, we have